Hey everybody, and welcome back to Hollow Knight! That was a little bit of a stretch for something I could do to say the game's name for this time, but whatever. Last time, we used our newfound Mantis Claw to venture down into Hallownest, past the Mantis Lords where we fought them in the video before that. I don't need that marker anymore. We entered real quick, but then saw how terrible of a place it is, and I shortly decided to exit as I went around to take care of a few other things around the world with the Mantis Claw. Afterwards, we went into this tunnel, which took us here, into the City of Tears. The City of Hears, I guess. And this time, we got a whole capital city to explore, so let's get right on with that. First of all, I'm gonna switch out my charms. Wait, actually, no, I just put these on at the end of last time. Never mind, let me not switch out my charms. I remember that I was going to try using Mark of Pride against these guys, and I even got some use out of it. Like, look at this. Look at how much further I can hit this guy from. It's awesome. So you may remember that I ended last time down below in the city, but then now I'm at the bench. That's because every time you quit and reload Hollow Knight, you start at the last bench you sat on, or if you're in an area such as the Ancestral Mound where you couldn't have seen a bench, you'll respawn just like on the ground somewhere within that area in a predetermined location. You will not be exactly where you were upon ending your last session, upon beginning the next one. I don't think I had to say upon twice there, but whatever. There's a way to the left. Who cares? Let's go right. That's obviously the correct place to start. Blast you. How many hits do you take afterwards? 2. Alright. Not bad. Not great either. What's this floating platform doing here? These other platforms have a reason to exist, but that one is just like, why is it hovering? I don't get it. Did I just get Vengefly journal entry? I sure did. This fierce little hunter will bravely chase down creatures many times its size. Admirable. It is weak, though, and I have devoured hundreds of them with little effort or care. Tell that to the new players to this game, where that's like the first annoying enemy. I have failed to show it off until now, but here's a journal entry for the Mantis Lords. Leaders of the Mantis tribe and its finest warriors. They bear thin nail lances and attack with blinding speed. The Mantis tribe and the bugs of old Hallownest had no love for each other. The Mantises outlived their rivals, though, and their civilization still stands. Then there's Massive Moss Charger. Family of creatures will learn to bulk up with moss and live as one. Strength in numbers, yes, but these creatures never had much strength to begin their cut through their trickery. I mean, I would argue against that by saying it was actually somewhat of a challenging battle compared to the normal Moss Chargers, but then again, I did just stun lock it down, so I guess I have to agree with that. Alrighty, into the city we go. First of all, we have an interesting symbol. Not sure what that means. Hit that elevator. Ooh, glowy. I'll be honest, knowing what's down underneath this door, it should not be glowing like this. A mechanism with a simple keyhole. I guess we gotta find another one of those. Got one last time from Slide, but I immediately used it up, so hopefully we can come across another one. Up this way, we have a breakable thing and a door. A very subtle door that blends in with the background, but it is there, and it is stopping our progress. So, no way to get up there. I have to say, this freaking decoration right here that doesn't snap into like the ones in Crossroads is so unsatisfying. It just kind of bends over, like, come on, can't I break it more than that? It should at least take multiple hits, but then that would be too much to program for not much in return. I get it. Hello there. This looks important. Again we meet, little ghost. I'm normally quite perceptive. You I underestimated, though I've since guessed the truth. You've seen beyond this kingdom's bounds. Yours is resilience born of 2 voids. It's no surprise then that you managed to reach the heart of this world. In so doing, you shall know the sacrifice that keeps it standing. If, knowing that truth, you'd still attempt to roll in Hallownest's perpetuation, seek the graven ash, and the market would grant to one like you. I'm sorry, I didn't really understand what she's saying. Could you tell that to me in layman's terms? Okay, fine, she's gone. Graven Ash. That sounds familiar. I think I know where that is. Alright, I'm here. What next? Okay, fine. I can't just go out of the bounds of the game like that. It's not allowed. Memorial to the Hollow Knight. In the black vault far above, through its sacrifice, Hallownest lasts eternal. Black Egg Temple added to the map. The titular Hollow Knight appears to be resting inside the Temple of the Black Egg up in the Forgotten Crossroads, and the map has now been marked with its icon. There were 3 symbols on the door inside that temple. If you've played a Metroid game before, you might be familiar with this kind of design. They give you a room somewhat off the start of the game that has, like, statues of something, some creatures you've never seen before. Those statues represent bosses that you need to kill elsewhere in the game to unlock the way to the end. And it appears that Hollow Knight is doing the same thing. It, like, took this long for it to be, like, officially revealed. You never know, it might not be the final boss. I mean, this game's huge, so might keep going for a while after that. Who really knows? That's all we can do there. If you're anything like me, you'll probably wander back and forth in these lower streets for a long time trying to find out where to go next. But in reality, where to go next was standing right above you all along. See those platforms there? And you hear that guy? There's some way that we can get up there, but how could that be? Well, I just sent the elevator up. I kind of want to try bouncing off the elevator spikes. Can I do that? Okay, no. Hold on. Sorry. You can't actually just hit the lever on the elevator again to do it that way. Oh my god. I didn't even know you could do it that way. But yes, either ride the elevator up and then jump off of it, which you can do. You are not trapped inside the elevator until it hits the floor. Or do what I just did and you'll get up to these platforms. It's pretty cool. The secret and the answer to all your questions is standing right above you, and you gotta find the way there yourself. There we go. However, whichever way that you do discover this place. You could even be like my sister, who jumped to this set of platforms like first thing upon riding that elevator down into the main place, instead of seeing what was down below first. She just kind of like saw that it was there and immediately jumped out of the elevator to get to it. Pretty cool. There's a new enemy that I've yet to acknowledge. Winged Sentry. They are probably the most annoying enemy in this area. Actually, no. There's an enemy more annoying than them, but they're pretty close. They're like the ground sentries, except they fly around. They'll start to fly closer to you, and when they get close enough, they slash. They do have, like, subtle patterns to their movements, and if you can get those patterns down, they shouldn't be that bad. But, you know, at first, these guys are definitely very hard. So, like, if they're... Okay. She was flying down to me, then if she stays underneath like this, or stays overhead like that, you can hit her from underneath. If she starts to fly down next to you, she's gonna hit, so you either want to dodge away, or, like, try to jump out of the way in time. It's a little hard to describe how to move, but you'll probably see. And yet another new enemy! This is a heavy sentry. They have 2 forms of swinging. They can jump and hit, either like jumping backwards, or I think they can also jump forwards doing that. They can also just do it standing on the ground without jumping, or they can charge. 3 different attacks for a regular enemy. Kind of a lot to keep in mind. And also, as you could guess, they're quite tanky. Okay, that's that. Got another elevator and a way down with the same sign. Aha, look at that. We've already found the other side of this door. Let me just heal up 1 point of health and then call this elevator. Because I don't want to land on the spikes. Those spikes at the top of the elevator, those are spikes. They will hurt you. It's one of those cases where, like, the decor of the place was prioritized over the safety. Over here, in this kind of hard-to-find area that I know I for sure missed for a while, is a shop. Though, quite a unique shop. Hey, come searching for rare items, have you? Well, hands off. This collection is mine, and I won't be selling to grubby little wanderers. Still, I imagine you come across many interesting items in your travels. Maybe you care to part with some? I'll offer a fair trade for each. I don't know what this, like, halfway British accent I'm doing is talking as these guys. It's just what I do. The many relics we've been picking up throughout the game, the Wanderer's Journals, Hallownest Seals, and King's Idols, can be sold to this guy, Relic Seeker Lem, in exchange for Geo. I'll start with one of these. Wanderer's Journal, eh? Though they're common finds about the kingdom, I much enjoy the deciphering of their text. Read together, they paint a morbid tale. It seems fate was unkind to most who travel within Hallownest's ruin. Well, fate's been pretty kind to me so far, but I know it wasn't very kind to past me. I'll just sell him one of each of these for now. He does have more to say as you keep selling more to him, but, you know, I got places to be, and I don't want to spend all of my time down here, exactly, so. A Hallownest seal, eh? Very interesting, this. Do you know of the kingdom's 5 great knights? They're revered figures of Hallownest, often mentioned in the annals of the kingdom, but only as a group. Both their names and appearance seem to have been expunged from history. Well, there was the Hollow Knight out there, isn't that one of them? That might be. I'm not sure. So long has passed since their time. It'd be a grand achievement to discover their identities. Alright, well, I guess I'll have to keep those 5 guys in mind. The 5 guys, it's like the restaurant. If you sell it to me, I'll pay a good price. Absolutely, 800 geo. That is so much. That is so good. A king's idol, eh? Hallownest's king was an elusive figure, deified by the citizens. Okay. I learned how to pronounce niceties before playing this playthrough, but sadly, that's one of the words that I missed. With a king rarely seen, worship was offered through these idols. There's an expert craft to them. Few alive could match this skill. Once again, you'd think the king would want to appear more to his citizens, but what do I know about royalty? Sell you one more Wanderer's Journal just for the sake of it. Then I'll come back over time. Another Wanderer's Journal? I might not offer a lot for each, but they're plentiful about the caverns, and I doubt you'll find another willing to make trade for geo. True that, you're the only one who actually sells anything. Let's talk to you normally.
Oh, Paul.
That nail you bear looks mighty blunt. There's cracks all through it. It's as much a relic as the objects in my shop. I have little interest in weapons myself, but it may be an idea to hunt down that old nailsmith. His hut's on the outskirts of the city, not that far from here. He might help add some sting to your weapon, providing he's feeling generous. Get it? Sting? Because we're bugs?
Oh, Paul.
No touching the antiques. My stock is not for sale. Still, if you manage to come across any interesting trinkets during your travels, I may be willing to trade. Step over to the counter here, and I'll see what you've got. See, he's got some journals here. He's got some more stuff in the background there. I don't know if every single item you can give him is visible here, but there's some. There's a forgotten history hidden in these kingdoms' antiques, though few seem willing to look. Others just come to claw away at the cracks and ruins. Scavengers and thieves, it's contemptible. We've talked enough, I think. Relics need cleaning, text needs deciphering. Out with you, this isn't a museum. Fair enough. I shall leave you to... Hey, wait, could you install a door so you can, like, go out here whenever you want, climb around on the roofs? That would be really fun. That window is also supposed to be overlooking the fountain over there. I really love how this place is interconnected. Oh my god, and so is this. If you were to be able to look down, you'd see the spikes, but past it, you probably see the top of the fountain. Very cool. This is the only place left in City of Tears we can go, so let's get started. Oh my god, yeah. These enemies will definitely give you a run for your money in your first playthrough, but once again, like with everything else, Vengeful Spirit makes them so much easier. And now it's time for me to show a little trick. Notice when I jump against this, my nail is actually kind of poking through the floor. Yup! Your nail slash hitbox goes through walls. If you're really up close against the wall or floor or ceiling to an enemy, you can hit them through the wall. This was totally intentional. Team Cherry left this in on purpose. Now for another new enemy and the most annoying of them all, the Lance Sentry. As with all spear users, especially those in Dark Souls games, yeah, these guys are really annoying. They can charge you like that, which is a very strange attack, especially when they start it up in certain environments. Otherwise, they throw a spear directly at you. That's pretty much their only attacks, but I consider them more annoying than the Winged Sentries because they tend to stay far away from you a lot. That one was closer to me just because we were fighting them in a cramped space, but there'll be more of them later, and you'll see how annoying these guys can get. I just kind of like levitated up through that. Alright, just a regular winged one. A sword sentry. There we go. Got another freaking, like, what is it? It's not rhinoceros, is it? That's not the, or hippo. What's the animal that has the single horn on the front? I think it's rhinoceros. Yeah, hippopotamus is different. Hippopotamus has the giant scary jaws. I promise those guys are annoying to hit. I just cut it down to that one just as easily as the first one. Well, now that we know what the relics are for, I may as well, connect them to something. These things are basically Hollow Knight's version of the soul items in the Dark Souls games, where you use them to gain a bunch of souls in case you lost all your souls from dying and you need to get some back. They obviously differ in that you need to take them all the way down to Relic Seeker Lem every time you want to buy them, and you can only sell one at a time. But aside from that, they're the soul items, so you definitely want to keep as many as you can, and if you're in a sore spot for Geo, go sell him your relics, and you'll get a ton of Geo from it. It'll be really, really worth it for you. I'll talk more about the death punishment in a little bit, though, because I got some stuff to say about that, and this area is pretty on topic for that. If you hop off the elevator, you can discover these secret rooms. And look at this. It's our first rancid egg in the wild. From this point on, you will start to find rancid eggs all over the place, and if you're anything like me on my first playthrough, you'll be wondering what the fuck they're for because the game never tells you. I kind of wish there was more direction with that. Because as I briefly went over last time, the only way you know what rancid eggs do is if you were to actually lose your shade and go talk to Gigi. Kind of like, I guess, just to see what the price is, and that's when the game finally reveals, ooh, you can use a rancid egg here. Even if you talk to Gigi beforehand, there's no indication about that at all, and I feel like that shouldn't be. I feel like there should be some indication. Perhaps in their description, like, ooh, there's a mysterious person around Dirtmouth who seems to like the taste of these. That would give you some hints. Then you'd go, like, try to find people around Dirtmouth, and maybe Gigi would say something about them if you had any in your inventory when you talked to her the first time, even if you didn't have a shade to save. Right here we have yet another door. There's lots of these. This is like our third one. Technically fourth, because the second one we encountered had a twin. There's a bench up here. Now there isn't. I refuse to follow your hints, your lies. Single winged sentry guarding this grub. Just do that, you'll be fine. Now, how exactly does the grub burrow into the floor there? This floor is like constructed and hardened and would definitely be a lot harder to burrow through than the dirt in the rest of the place. I don't know how the grub was able to do that, but I guess they must be powerful little dudes. That looks like an angry face above the door. I think I'll avoid that for the time being. How about this way? Uh-oh, combat arena. We have, start with a heavy sentry, and then I think most of the time when you're locked in rooms like this, you have to fight off multiple waves of enemies. Now we're joined by a winged and a normal. Oop, got you. Oh, God. Now, if I can show something real quick. Okay, it's gonna be hard to show off deliberately. This normally happens accidentally, but if you swing... Okay, there we go. See how we, like, hit each other's nails there? That is known as a parry. I believe if you do that... Wow, those were the only two waves. I remember that being a little more involved, but I guess I remembered wrong. Anyway, if you manage to do that, I don't think... If you're inside the slash hitbox as the parry is done, I don't believe you take any damage for it. Though, I'll be honest, I don't know much about parrying. There's a video that popped up in my recommended that supposedly explains how parrying works, so I'll definitely give that a watch before I talk about parrying any further. Parrying isn't useful or anything, it's just kind of a failed hit more often than not, and it's, but it can, I guess, save you in a tight spot. Speaking of, well, no, this guy's not on topic at all, but, you know, here's Cornifer, let's buy his map! Isn't this a change from those twisting natural caverns? The rain does cast something of a sadness upon it all, but the architecture is simply splendid. Charting such different space is quite the challenge, though one I've eagerly undertaken. The buildings have been just as twisting as the caverns, so I don't know if that's entirely accurate. Your comments there are entirely accurate. Whatever. I'll just give you the 90 geo and accept it. As you can see, we are on one side of the massiveness that is this place. You know, the map that we can see right now is pushed off to the left there, so there's a lot more to this place we have yet to see. I mean, we've only just arrived and gone through it for about 20 minutes, so, like, naturally, but still. We've both come far to reach this grand place. While I'm about these buildings, I must remember to collect a trinket or two for Iselda. What is there to get? A stool? Maybe? Something to cut out the door of your shop a little bit higher so that she doesn't have to bend down to go inside of it every time. Toll machine with the symbol of a bench. Watch this animation. It's awesome. I love that. Just the 3-stage process with it unfolding itself and then plopping down as a bench for you to use. It's so cute. Alright, you know what? I think I might have to sacrifice Gathering Swarm in favor of a new charm showcase. How about Spore Shroom? Let's give this a go. Can I do it right here to show what it looks like? I think I can. Yep, there we go. There's the Spore Cloud. Any enemies within this take a puny amount of damage per tick, but it adds up to be a decent amount per every, like, 4 seconds or something like that. I said what the exact numbers were last time, and I can't remember what they were, so, yeah, I forgot about that. This is probably one of my favorite rooms in the game, or in this area, and even though it's just a long straightaway, I love how it's a sky bridge over the rest of the city. I've always really loved sky bridges in cities that, in like the downtown areas, that take you above roads, or, you know, in a college campus, they might take you to other parts of the campus, and I love the spikes pointing down on them. I love the architecture, and if I look at the map, where are we exactly? Okay, we're right here. We're above this main area. I just love how the city fits together. That's all I really have to say about it. It's so cool. And the sky bridges are one part of it. There's another sky bridge back there, actually, that was crossing over this area, the fountain area. I put a marker on the map. Let me get rid of that. Stupid barrels. Uh-oh, here are the mushrooms again. We're entering, the fungal wastes once more, I guess? Well, not quite. We got a big room with sentries, as well as a lot of these platforms, kind of like the Crossroads room. It just killed itself on the spikes there. Great job. You can hit this lever to open up this. I think this, yeah, this takes you back to the start of the place where we initially entered City of Tears. Still can't go out back that way, so it's basically just a loop, a shortcut down below, or, you know, easier travel should we ever pass through those hallways again, and we don't feel like taking a stag anywhere. Speaking of which, we might be happening upon a stag pretty soon. Did I say that aloud? Oh no, I spoiled things. 2 rooms off to the side here. One contains a Vengefly and another mysterious tree. Now that we've seen like 4 of those things, I bet you can guess that they have some importance to gameplay. That importance is not clear yet. I don't know why I bothered hitting them those few times with the nail. I guess to get some soul so I could then finish them off really cool, but then I ended up with like a net 0 of soul usage instead of a net loss, which it would have been otherwise if I just used the thing. I don't know. It's just my weird strategies. Wait, does Geo falling on these platforms cause them to shake the same way that they shake when you land on them? Because I know the corpses do, which makes sense, but is like every little piece of Geo do the same? Come on. Oh my god, come on. Hard to tell, but I think it did? Maybe. Where did the Geo go as well? Oh, it's on the spikes. Oh my god, no. Hold on, I want to get the big one. No, it's unretrievable. The spikes hitbox extends too far up. That's why you want Gathering Swarm. With Gathering Swarm, that Geo would be yours. Finally up here. You there! Oh god. I parried him twice in a row. That's that. A simple key. You can get one for free if you come down to this room of the City of Tears. And now we have exactly what we need to use on that lock down below whenever we feel like it. I don't exactly feel like it right now, though. Instead, let's wall jump up that platform. Man, it's so fun stringing together all your moves in this game. You dash, and then you wall jump, and then you use later abilities we don't have yet, you know. Ooh, I should try to use Spore Shroom on something. Here, you know what? We got 2 basic enemies in this pit. I'm gonna attack them with Spore Shroom. Let's go. Let's see if this will finish them off. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Got a Wanderer's Journal there, and sadly, I cannot use the same thing on him because I needed him 3 times. Ooh, but I can on you. I can. Ooh, there we go. Barely didn't hit me there. You got something like, I think they have less than 20 health because, or no, they have less than 15 health because, it takes 3 hits with the base nail to kill them, and 3 hits with the base nail is 15 damage. So yeah, they were finished off pretty quickly by Spore Shroom. Once you jump across this, above these spikes, you can knock this down for a nice convenient shortcut up to a stag station. It's good to unlock a fast travel point in this place so that we can come back here very conveniently. But that is not the end of everything there is to see up here, though. Unlock this. Rest on this, because we may as well. Gonna respawn all those enemies, but whatever. It's more Geo for me. Welcome back to this place I'm sure you've been to many times. I remember this station well. A common trip it was. Goods from all over the kingdom were transported here. Not a lot was sent back the other way, though. Well, yeah, they have to, like, supply their shops and everything, and then I guess they just dump it in the trash and the trash goes elsewhere, so it makes sense to me. This station is known as the City Storerooms. Not every stag station is named after the area it's in. That was just Crossroads and Green Path because those only had 1. Thing is, City of Tears is so big, there's actually 2 of them. So yeah, they had to be named specific things, such as city storerooms. Let's go to the other side of this place, though. You can see all these barrels in the background. All of these were the storerooms. Let me just, okay, I got hit for it, but I think it'll be worth it. In fact, let me do it again. Okay, okay, so the thing does have a little bit of a cooldown, if you notice. Eventually... Okay, there's usually like a little particle effect that happens around you when you're able to cast out the Spore Cloud again. There is a cooldown. You can't spam the Spore Cloud by healing multiple times in a row. There is a little bit of period of time you have to wait before you're able to do it again. And that is indicated visually through a little particle effect. Let me show it here. I think it is, anyway. There it is. Okay, yeah, you saw that? I glowed yellow there for a second, and I had those particles off of me. That's indicating that you can use it again. Let's back to this toll machine with a symbol of a lift. Insert Geo. 150. Very cheap for us. Recognize this. We've unlocked this elevator. Down here in the Crossroads, this is where I am right now. If you remember, we found this, I think, way back in episode 1, and now we finally know where it goes to, and we can take it there. We also simultaneously unlocked this area, which was previously closed to us because the doors were closed and locked. It's just a side room in the Crossroads, as the usual, usual Crossroads enemies. Not a lot to say so far. Perhaps... Oh yes, there's this hidden path up here. I don't know why this is here. Just to give more enemies to find. Oh, and a single geopile. Cool, I guess. I also unlocked the lore for one of them. I'll check that out in a bit. I forgot I don't have that charm. It feels so bad going to not having Gathering Swarm anymore. Every time I take it off and then I break geopiles and I don't have all of that geo automatically collected, it just feels wrong. I love some of the sprites they use for this journal. Like, some of them are for mid-attack instead of just the dude standing by itself. These bugs have an arrogant air about them even after dying, overly proud of their long horns. I enjoy snapping them off. Alright, sure, whatever you say, Hunter. I don't know if they're that proud of themselves anymore in the states that they're in right now. Alright, I have plans. You do want to look down before entering this, because it is gonna be hard. Like that, you know. I mean, that wasn't that hard. I took one hit. What am I saying? That was pretty hard. I took 1 damage from that. Jeez. Oof. Rough battle. Grab you, and then your reward for making it this far is a soul fragment. Soul vessel fragment. That completes our first one of those. Already we have our first health upgrade and our first soul upgrade. I wonder how fast this series is gonna go. I'm not really sure, because technically, I am kind of going through it slower than I used to in my blind playthrough, but, I mean, you never know. And slower than I usually do on my own time. But, since we've made, like, 2 of those kinds of upgrades this early, I think things are looking up. I think this will be a relatively fast series. While I'm up here in Forgotten Crossroads, we are in close proximity to Salubra's shop, and I want a charm notch. Oh, yes, the new face in the room, the new student in the class, the little reserve soul bubble there. I should talk about that a little bit, because it actually works kind of differently to how you'd expect. So you see how it's full right now. If I were to use a soul to heal, you'll notice it uses my main meter, then that reserve bubble thing is then put into my main meter to fill it back up to full. There's a little delay with that, so you can't exactly, like, use soul 3 times in a row. You can't use soul 4 times really quickly. You can use it 3 times, then you have to wait for the reserve to fill more of it before you can use it a 4th time, if you have another use of soul in reserve. Also, that bubble just gives 1 use of soul. So, basically, I can store up to 4 uses of soul, though I need to wait a little bit to get that final use if it's all the way full, and if I use 3 uses of soul real quick. That's long and hard and convoluted to explain, but I did my best. Alright, welcome back to Salubra's shop. Ooh, do I want... Okay, well, first and foremost, charm notch. I'm feeling so limited with the charms I can put on. I really want to get to showing some of them off, so I would love that. I mean, I guess with me using Spore Shroom, I've shown off... That would, like, cross off every charm that I've yet to show off, so why not? Let's add Shaman Stone to our collection. So I may not use it straight away, but we'll get there. Do you have anything more to say?
My dapper gadfly, would you like to know how charms are made? I don't often tell my customers, what with the truth being a little morbid, but you're a sharp one, so you may have guessed already. Few ways a charm appears, but mainly it's from Final Wish, a dying bug's potent desire crystallized into these gorgeous, powerful trinkets. Now, don't go getting too sad, there are exceptions, of course, and really, it's quite beautiful. It makes them all the more precious. Just think of all the little bug souls that went into creating your collection. It's like a crowd of strangers in your pouch, or purse, or wherever it is you keep them. I keep them on my horns, I guess. That really does beg the question, how was Grub Song made? Or, well, it contains the gratitude of freed grubs, so maybe not. Okay, what kind of insect made Thorns of Agony, though?
Whatever, I like that lore. It is very interesting, and it is pretty cool to think about for a little bit, but... You know, I do have to wonder what all those deceased bugs think about me using, like, their dead wishes for my own selfish gain. Back to the Among Us town! That sign, now we know, is indicating the presence of the City of Tears. All signs that look like that point to the city. And now, let me show you something really cool. This door right here. If you check the map, which I should have filled out. I don't have it filled out. 1 second. Here we are. You'll see, this is the elevator shaft. This is where we are right now. And you'll notice this room of the fungal wastes had this door on the other side. We saw that last time, and I told you to keep it in mind. This is because that room is supposedly right through this door. Though, sadly, you can't open the door. I kind of wish you could. It would make for a great little shortcut like that. That'll allow you to traverse this world even easier than you already could, but, you know, I understand why you can't. Maybe it was planned that you could. Anyway, though, you can't open that door, but it is really cool to see that they consider how this world kind of fits together, and they reflect the presence of other rooms within certain rooms, such as, you know, putting that locked door there, and then you can discover by yourself later that there is another side to it. The other side of it is that elevator shaft. I love it. The world fits together so nicely. Almost. More on that in a later video. Important thing to mention about Sports Room. I just remembered that the cooldown for it will actually stop prematurely if you take damage. So I wish I could have shown that there, but sadly I couldn't. So back into the main city we go, as there is yet more to do here. I mean, there's lots more to do here. There's so many ways you can go. We could go right, left, or down. Perhaps even up further. You never know. Okay, so here we go, and it kills him. Great. I will never get to show this off, but alright, the cooldown that normally happens is canceled if you get hit. I think you get the idea. I don't have to demonstrate it. Now, let's see why these people are so upset. What's getting you down? You live in the City of Tears. What could possibly be so bad about that? The constant rain. Yeah, that would probably get my mood down over time as well. Hello there, window. Again, I do wish you could see more out of these windows, like you could see a grand view of the place, but I guess being able to look down and see the ending of the bottom side of that platform is good enough for me. For right now, anyway. Continue on, and hello, new enemy! This is a Soul Twister, being used as a kind of mid-boss here, though you're not locked in this room completely. You can still exit out the front door if you want. Soul Twisters teleport around, are surrounding themselves with a projectile, and then launch another projectile at you that homes in. It's very, very difficult to avoid. These are tough enemies. Definitely no slouch here. We're entering the big leagues. As if we weren't there already with like killing Mantis Lords. Defeating Mantis Lords, god damn it. Can I say the right word? No. This begins the next little sub-area that we have to explore, the Soul Sanctum. Way up in this building of City of Tears, this place is waiting you. We start off with a unique kind of, oh, and a new enemy, okay. You want to know this enemy's name? I'm more than happy to tell you. This enemy is called Mistake. I love that. A mistake. Once a highly intelligent bug, deformed by the misuse of soul. Highly intelligent bug uses arcane knowledge to murder you in the face. Mistakes just crawl around the ground. If they see you long enough, they'll start charging at you eventually. That's pretty much it. They also don't exist until you pass over their spawn points initially. They're kind of like dirt carvers in that way. Similarly, Soul Twisters also wait until you enter their like spawning zone in order to appear. They got two ambushy kind of enemies, though not in the ambush area. The wrong area, guys. That was episode 2. You should have been there. Actually, no, you shouldn't have. You would have made this game so much less approachable for new players. All right, dodge that. Oh my god, I like kind of wove around it there. It's the most annoying thing when they just don't stop teleporting as you get close. Oh god, okay. As soon as you fall even a little bit out of the rhythm for dodging their stuff, it gets hard. These guys can really put the hurt on. I've had Steel Soul runs, which is the permanent death mode for this game. I've had runs end in here, where I was otherwise doing just fine, but I've come in here and then I've died in here, because these guys were that strong. Record ABBA? The mind still limits us so. How to break past its constraints? To attain a pure focus, is it even possible? They're talking about soul a little bit there, judging by the word focus. That's one of our soul abilities, and, you know, they're known as soul twisters. They're twisting soul to their own nefarious deeds. Could climb the elevator, or could ride the elevator. I could also just climb up the walls like that. Hello, sir. You look kinda suspicious. You know, I thought, originally, when I first came into this area, I thought that guy in the chair was the one that comes to life, but no, it's a completely different person entirely. Another new enemy, this is a Soul Warrior. They have 2 attacks after teleporting. They can launch at you like that with a quick slash, or they can slash at you from above. That's basically it. Jump over the horizontal slash, dash out of the way of vertical slash. Oh yeah, and they can throw that projectile as well. That's about it. Most of the time they teleport before attacking. I think sometimes, yeah, like there, he started that attack on his own. I hit him twice with Vengeful Spirit. He should be close then. I don't have Mark of Pride on anymore, do I? Oh, I have an unused Charm Notch. I haven't switched out my charms at all. I don't think. Well, perhaps I should get around to that next time I can find a bench. This guy's hardy. More so than I thought. There we go. Not terribly hard, but also, yeah, kind of terribly hard. Yeah, Soul Sanctum is freaking hard. Good thing this game's so open-ended, there are about 50 other places that you can go in the meantime. That guy's the main way, guarding the way forward. He gives you 200 Geo and progress as your reward. You can actually hit the windows, I forgot about that. Hit the glass there. Kill that. This room has always reminded me of the area in Castlevania Symphony of the Night that I don't remember what it's called. It's like the outer wall. Yeah, the outer wall. This room has always reminded me of that place, just because it's like, it's a long vertical room with windows overlooking a huge space, and then the outer wall is exactly the same kind of structure. It is worth noting, while we're in a soul area, let me give you some facts about soul. The amount of soul that goes into your reserve bubbles is less, actually, than the amount of soul that goes into your main meter for every hit. If you remember, every hit that you land on an enemy gives you 11 soul for your main meter. But for filling your reserve bubbles, hitting an enemy will only give you 6 soul instead of 11, so it actually takes longer to fill up the reserve bubbles than it does to fill up your main meter. Or actually, no, it takes longer to fill up a reserve bubble than it does to get 1 use of soul in the main meter. I'm not really sure why that was done. I guess they thought it would be too strong if you gave 4 uses of soul that easily. I guess I can understand that. They must have had, like, playtesters doing it, and they thought, this is too strong, let's limit the soul that they can get. We're actually back to the entrance of Soul Sanctum, and that's perfect timing, because I wanted to show what's this way. If you come this way early on, you can hear Cornifer is here, so this is actually the same room as there. There's also this elevator, and a bunch of stairs, or switchback stairs that go up to this mysterious door. An ornate door made from glistening metal. There's a slot for some kind of key. Sadly, not a simple key, so we're gonna have to come back later. Maybe an ornate key? Okay, there's an area up there, but the way that it's built prevents you from getting into there. So we're gonna have to find another way there. Now, before we leave this room, take note of the cracked wall in the elevator shaft. I remember noticing that as like a little glimpse in one of my videos of my blind playthrough, and not coming to check it out until much, much later. But the only thing that cracked wall really does is open up a convenient shortcut back to the bench. This area can have quite the long runbacks if you die within it. Like, if you die and you respawn on that bench, which is the closest one, or this bench, you have to go all the way back through, and it can be kind of annoying. So knowing that that shortcut is there will save you a lot of time. Also knowing that you can unlock this shortcut will save you a lot of time. Got a bottle there or something. Maybe water. They were too good for water in the end. They thought water was pointless. What charms do I have on right now? Because I was literally just at a bench, and I should probably go put on another one. Yeah, let's go put on another one. Decided to sacrifice Mark of Pride for the sake of Shaman Stone and Gathering Swarm, of course. I had 1 notch left and nothing else better to spend it on, so Gathering Swarm is back on. I suppose there's no better time to use Shaman Stone since we're in a very soul-themed area. I've mentioned that a lot of times now for a lot of things, but it's just the most thematically appropriate. It's just, there's a lot of things that connect with the theme of the area, so I feel like pointing them out just to give myself an excuse to use them. Okay, these guys are really tanky. I hit them with a Shaman Stone Vengeful Spirit, and he still took 3 hits before dying. Okay, yeah. We're in the big leagues now. Alright. Jump up, get down. You notice Shaman Stone also makes your spell slightly bigger, I think, if I may show. Yeah, you can see that is much bigger. It'll be easier to hit stuff with it. Alright, could take the elevator or could wall jump. Like the, I don't know, the fire safety people that we are. No, there's no fire happening in here or else the elevator would be shut down. So therefore, I should practice wall jumping in case that happens. There we go, I saved it, sort of. What is this thing, I wonder? I guess we'll never know, it's broken now. Onward. More shelving. Destroyed. Another door, there's been so many of those, it's been really annoying. Yeah, they only filled up like half of a use. Half of my reserve bubble. Actually, no. I think it's just soul from your nail that is reduced in the reserve bubbles. I think every other collection of soul is the same. So, you know, breaking those things gives me half a use of soul. That's what that means. Alright, I hit him loads of times with the nail, so it wasn't really easy to tell if Shaman Stone was really helping there, but, you know. Maybe against the mistakes I can more easily show that. I don't know. Shaman Stone will definitely have its worth much, much later on when we get the super tanky enemies, and Shaman Stone is just like, you know, it takes them down that much quicker. But for right now, there isn't a lot to use it on. Breakable thing here, sadly not breakable with slashing it. I have to use using something else on it. Also this. That's also breakable ground, except I can't headbutt it to destroy it. Worthless. Mario does that all the time. I know Mario uses his fist. I know Mario punches the blocks. He does not... What am I trying to say? He does not headbutt them. But it is very easy to make that mistake looking at those sprites. His hand is not, like... I guess his hand is noticeable. It's just you don't easily notice that his hand is slightly above his head. Whatever. Could go forward, or we could go up. Forward is likely to be progress. You know how I feel about progress, right? I hate progress. Progress is the worst thing that happened to video games. I mean, honestly, like, that's kind of true in some linear games like Stray, where I had that one moment where there was the whole hub area with quests and people to talk to, and I ended up skipping all of it by accidentally going through a vent that locked me out of it. Like, come on. You could at least put a warning there that I'm about to lock myself out of an area. I literally couldn't go back, so yeah. It was just a whole area I missed out on. I guess that's all the more reason for me to replay that game. It was very good. You in here. Yet another charm. We're getting these so fast now. Like, look at this screen. Like, friggin' 3 videos ago, we still just had 2. Spell Twister. For 2 notches. For 2 notches, you get attacked by a mistake. The cost of using an attacking spell is reduced to 24 from the usual 33. Pretty cool. It also means that even if you have less than a third of your soul meter, you can still cast a spell. Actually, might want to backtrack and put that on real quick instead of Shaman Stone, because I haven't been remembering to cast spells yet, so I don't think Shaman Stone's gonna be that great. Yeah, I'll be right back. Well, if it's Shaman Stone insta-kills these things, I feel like it's pretty likely that Vengeful Spirit instant-kills them normally, though. Yeah, it insta-kills them normally. Alright, I got a full soul meter right now. Let's see. 1. And then I got some reserve soul filled, but as you can see, I'm like almost back to a full meter, so I can already use like 3 more again. 3 more spells. Just like that. Seriously, dude, stop! Stop being smart. Stop dodging my attacks, like, as soon as I put them out. I believe focus is unchanged. Yeah, that looks like the same amount of soul used. So it's just attacking spells that have their soul cost reduced. These fools meddled with the soul of other creatures and lost their shape. Now they skulk through the shadows of their sanctum like slugs, hoping their old brothers will build them new bodies. It is kind of sad what happened here. I guess kind of sad because they're fucking idiots for like turning themselves into this, but you know. Still, it is like they had all their freaking personality removed. It's kind of like some of the areas in Bloodborne with experiments. Forgot to mention it, but those flying versions of the mistakes, are known as follies. They are kind of different from your standard crawl along the floor or your standard fly around in the air enemy, as they do like head directly for you at all times. They're kind of like Vengeflies, but bigger and faster. And that's about it. And because I forgot to show it, I decided to throw on Wayward Compass to use up my last notch because, well, you know, it might clear up some confusion anytime I stare at the map and I'm like, okay, here's where we go, and you all are like, where the fuck are you on the map? Hello there. Silent area. Silent, suspenseful area. The Soul Master! He'll teach you how soul is really done by the true experts. Soul Master teleports all over the place and launches attacks at you in the blink of an eye, including ground pounding into the ground to cause a shockwave to either side, charging along really slowly like that, allowing you to bounce along him, surrounding himself with these soul fireball things, and then launching them back the other way. This is a perfect healing opportunity, by the way. I know I said I was gonna try to freaking not heal during a boss, but hey, at least this way I can incorporate, what is this, Spore Shroom in my strategies. There's a stagger. Oh, I should have hit him with that to get him with Spore Shroom. I should have thought of that. Okay. Teleports this way. With dash, you wanna, respond to where he teleports to with dash, catch up to where he is, or, get closer to him, get over to him as quick as you can, because he's probably not gonna stay there long. With this, you can hit him with that and then take a hit myself. And then, nope, wait, hold on. I need to find an opportunity to use Spore Shroom on him. Honestly, next time he's staggered might be the time. Oh, will this reach? Barely not, damn it! I was hoping. Okay, I think he was actually immune to the Spore Shroom damage while staggered. Interesting, I didn't know that was a thing. Okay, bounce along the, no, okay. I'm usually really good at that attack. This time I've been messing that up. He can also fake out the stomp, or the slam, the slam attack. You want to watch out for that. Okay, not bad. You just hang out in the middle after that attack is done. Those fireballs will never hit you. You just jump over them as he's passing by. Yeah, jump over them like this, then stay in the middle, and they will never hit you. They always go in that formation. Okay. Oh, no. Okay. Every time I jump like that, you have to, jump really quickly as soon as you can. As soon as you first can, or else it will hit you, the shockwave. There we go. Staggered you once again. Hit you a spell. I want to use Spore Shroom on him, but he moves too quickly. I don't think this is a great Spore Shroom opponent. I'm the king of putting on charms at the worst times. Don't worry, we have plenty of game left. Now let's not heal. Make this interesting. Or whatever. Alright, there we go. This again. He's staggered again. I really want to I really wish this could actually Spore Shroom him, but it doesn't. He took a single hit there as he slammed into the ground. That's worth something, right? Spore Shroom value. There we go. Okay, I anticipated the fake out that time. It is possible to react to the fake out. Okay. And that is that. Oh. Hopefully this doesn't hurt your eyes too bad. Or your ears. It's honestly kind of annoying. He leaves behind a new power. The power to kick your face in! Fight's not done yet! Phase 2! Has him repeatedly slamming from up above, though this time, no longer leaving any shockwaves. We now fight him inside of his laboratory, which is filled with dead bodies. That just goes to show the ethics of this whole situation. After a few slams, he'll launch these at you from the sidelines and leave himself open for hits. This is the only time you can, hit him consistently in this phase. I recommend dashing away from him to get out of that little explosion radius. I think yes, okay, it is possible to hit him as he's dropping down. I got one on him there. I'm gonna try to get more. I don't want all my hits to be here. I can hit him with a spell. See if I can't kill him during the slam down phase. That would be really cool. Can I do that? Alright. Alright. Oh, he faked it out. No. Okay. There we go. Took a hit myself. Okay, took another one. Might not want to do this for long. You could probably fit in a heal here, as in between the fireballs after you've dodged one the right way. I don't really want to risk it. I'm getting kind of low though, so maybe I do. Okay, I really want to kill him in this phase. I think it'll be awesome. All right, fine. Here, I'll heal. Let's get some Spore Shroom damage. Will this finish him off? Please? Okay. All right, fine. Okay. Okay. Music's gone all crazy now. Doesn't even resemble a melody anymore. Ah, he was on the last hit. Might have gotten him. It's fine. Soul Master down for real this time. This better be the real one. Fool me twice, shame on me. How does that saying go? It's like, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice. I'm an idiot. I don't know. Feels like how it would go for me. Based on, like, what it means. Consumed the Desolate Dive. Yummy dive. Tap the soul button while holding down to strike the earth with a burst of power, just like he did. Spells will deplete soul, replenish soul by striking enemies. That is a second spell that attacks downwards instead of Vengeful Spirit, attacking from side to side. There we go. I also just noticed, getting that ability refills your soul meter completely. Makes enough sense. I mean, they want you to be able to use your new ability straight away. There it is. Now, with this, we've discovered exactly what we need to get through, to get through these fragile floors. The Desolate Dive is what you need for that. I'm gonna wait on that one for a while, because I think there's stuff this way. Including a Totem of Soul. We're not quite done with Soul Sanctum yet. There's one final section to get through with the boss dead, and we're going through that right now. So, yeah, here we go. Look at this area. Ooh, hear that? That's a mistake. There we go. Fragile ground. Use it! It's unlocked another little lore tablet, similar to the one at the beginning. Record Senda. I assume Abba means, like, beginning and this means end. I'm not really sure. Spare thought for those consumed. Through their grace we are evolved. No plague of mine shall overcome us now. They were trying to use soul to evolve themselves to stave off some kind of plague of the mind. Not really sure what that's about. Does sound a lot like Bloodborne, though. Or like, does sound a lot like Bloodborne. Because, in Bloodborne, the whole lore of that game is that everyone was trying to evolve themselves into higher beings. Like, become one with the Great Ones and all that. Ascend to a higher plane of existence and all that bullshit. Another little thing about Desolate Dive, it is an attacking move and will deal damage to enemies. If I can remember exactly what the damage values are, because I think it's a little bit weird. The attack has multiple stages to it. Hold on. Nope, that didn't work. I wanna dive you. There we go. All right. Yeah, you have the shockwave on the ground. You also have the actual, like, moving down that does different damage. Let me check. Okay, the dive itself deals 15 damage per hit. The shockwave deals 20 damage per hit for every enemy it hits, for a total of 35 damage if you can land both on one enemy. So there we go. That is, overall, a lot stronger in terms of damage numbers than Vengeful Spirit, which just does 15 per hit. So yeah, pretty cool. It is a lot, like, harder to find places to use it, though, which is why I guess most people never think to use it. In fact, I don't really think to use it that often. But there is another aspect of Desolate Dive that is really good. It gives you a lot of invincibility frames. During the wind-up of the animation, you are in invincibility frames, and I think even, like, as you're landing, you're kind of in invincibility frames, so you can use it to avoid some damage here and there. You can also use it right here. One thing that's worth noting about Desolate Dive, you might think of it as like a ground pound, meaning you can only, use it in midair. Not the case. I just did it right there on the ground without needing to jump first. Knowing this will probably make you want to use it a lot more because you could just whip it out very easily like that. Perfect. That's actually really fun to use. I think I'm going to be using that throughout the rest of the series. Because the Vengeful Spirit I use all the time because it's a straightforward projectile. There's also another spell later on that I use pretty often as well. But Desolate Dive was always the long-forgotten spell for me, and that's a shame, because it's got a lot of good abilities, and I'll be sure to show them off as the playthrough goes. Now, if you paid attention on our fall down into that terrifying room with all the corpses, we've been seeing so many around here. They're like, oh my god, the ceiling was made of them. There was a grub there. I accidentally fell past him. Get you. This room's pretty hard. If I were you, stick to the left, take out the mistakes and follies over here before moving to the right. I tried to rush through this room multiple times, and every single time it ended up not going well because there are so many mistakes and follies in that room that they add up to be a huge pain. Literally, a huge pain. They will hit you a lot, thus they are huge pains. And I think that's honestly what caused the death of that one Steel Soul run I mentioned. Alright, nothing else here, but some corpses. We already know. They were like... I'm not sure if they were taken the soul from these people, from the corpses of these people, or if these people were like experimented on and killed as a result and some of them transformed into the mistakes. Could be either, really. There he is, dead up there. Idiot, bozo. Back out. Jump along. Jump bump, get down. I've said that twice now, I don't need to say it again. We can get through the broken glass, but that glass down at the bottom is too resistant. Even though, by all accounts, it should be breaking because glass is kind of fragile, you know? Flying enemies are probably not easily hit by the shockwave of Desolate Dive, unless the shockwave extends above the ground a little bit, which it might. But, you know, it's a little bit harder to get the full damage out on flying enemies. With that said, you could still at least hit them with the dive, which is 15 damage, same as Vengeful Spirit. And in some cases, it might be easier to aid in the Vengeful Spirit. If the enemy's currently underneath you, it might be a better choice. Now with that is everything that we can do in Soul Sanctum for right now, so I guess we shall take our leave with our newfound power and some ideas of where we can use it in mind. Actually, I might want to go use it on some of those places right now. That was the trigger that caused Cornifer to leave. I just sent the elevator back up with the power of my mighty little noggin. Now, I'll keep Spore Shroom on. Spore Shroom is fun. Let's swap out Gathering Storm for Thorns of Agony, because I would like to talk about this charm a little bit. In fact, I'd like to demonstrate it a little bit. You're seeing how here I didn't really have to fight that terribly well in order to win. I did take 3 hits, but I gained a bunch of soul from it so I can heal, like, at least 2 of them back. 3, I think, like, having Grub Song allowed me to heal 3 there, but even if I didn't have Grub Song, I would still be able to heal 2 of it right back. Same thing with these guys. If I get hit by them, you can see, like, Thorns of Agony weakens them so much, and because of this, I don't recommend using Thorns of Agony terribly often. Even though it is a fantastic charm, it's very cheap, and it can make your life a lot easier in certain places, I would not over-rely on this charm. This game, as you can imagine, gets very, very hard in its late game stages, and if you're already feeling like it's hard early on, oh, just wait until you see what happens later on. That bench sign is, like, spinning? I didn't know it could do that. It's like slowly rotating. What the fuck? And it bounced its way down? That's funny. Alright. My main point is, Thorns of Agony can win so many combat encounters for you, even more so when you go do what I'm about to do right now. I guess I can change the subject over to that. I just remembered on my way down that I should probably go find the nailsmith somewhere, you know, maybe one of the parts of the city over here that I didn't explore. Maybe he was there, and perhaps I should go find him and get my nail upgraded. That would be useful, you know. I think that using Thorns of Agony and relying on it too much puts the wrong lessons in your head. It teaches you to be very reckless and not care at all about the damage you're taking, because every time you take damage, there's a good chance the enemy gets hit. You, like, instantly retaliate with a counterattack, and then the enemy just gets killed, like, basically by the charm. As a result, you never really have to learn attack patterns, because even if you get clobbered, you're still winning, thanks to the charm. And I think this really, like, this puts the wrong lessons in your mind, because later on, combat encounters aren't going to be easy enough that you can just bring Thorns of Agony and win with them, win with the charm alone. Thorns of Agony is not terrifically great on late game enemies. It is extremely effective on early game enemies due to their low health pools, but later on, it's going to become less and less useful. And when you're at that point, you're probably not as prepared for learning attack patterns as you would be. So if I were you, I would not over-rely on Thorns of Agony. Use it in moderation, use it for fun on occasion, but you should probably swap it out for other charms from time to time. I hear a familiar sound. There must be a smith in here. I also love how there was a sign pointing this way that was made out of a nail. That's really cool. Have you brought me another nail to be honed? Leave it on the ground and return later if you're still breathing. Oh, thought you were someone else. After a nailsmith, are you? Well, you found one. I'm not much for talk, but if it's a nail that needs repair, then you've come to the right bug. Your own nail is in quite a sorry state. It's obviously not one of mine. Still, anything can be refined with enough effort and skill, even that broken blade. If you'd like, I can reforge your nail. It'll make the blade far more deadly. I would definitely like that. Pay 250 geo, that's all you need for the first upgrade.
Jonsha.
As you wish. I'll get to work then. Sheesh, careful with that thing, you're gonna break it. No, he actually just, like, he fixed it. That was noises of fixing. Could have fooled me. There we go. Your forging is complete. I've honed your nail's edge. You'll find it much stronger than it used to be. Head out there and test its strength against your foes. Let's check our inventory. The old nail has turned into the sharpened nail, a traditional weapon of Hallownest, restored to lethal form. Upgrading your nail with the nailsmith will increase the damage it deals, and that's it. It gives no other additional properties, just a damage increase. Specifically, the nail's damage has gone from 5 up to 9 per hit. Pretty cool. Why not up to 10? I don't know, probably balancing reasons. You're still here. Is there something else you want? If you bring me a piece of pale ore, I can forge it into your nail and make it stronger still. I love the idea that my character was just like standing here staring at him the whole time, and then he looks over and is like, you're still here, what do you want? Luckily though, he's able to understand what we want. More upgrades in the future, but we need to find a piece of pale ore in order to do that. For now though, we can one-hit kill Vengeflies, fuck yes, and 4-hit kill the sentries. I will say, don't do what I did. Come over and get this upgrade as soon as you enter City of Tears. Don't wait like I did. I only did so because I felt like it. I felt like having the challenge. Yeah, this is the sign pointing to the Nailsmith, and I just destroyed it. I'm sorry, Nailsmith. I didn't mean it. After getting that upgrade... Oh, hold on, actually. This is timely. Thank you for auto-selecting this. The Soul Master, head of the Soul Sanctum, hoarded soul hoping to stave off Hallownest's affliction, but eventually became intoxicated by its power. The bugs of Hallownest tried all kinds of tricks and rituals and prayers to rid themselves of the infection, but to no avail. Perhaps the infection came from somewhere deep inside of them that they could not escape. Oh my god. Just like the hiccups came from deep inside me and I could not escape them. Upgrading your nail will also upgrade the effectiveness of certain charms, namely, Thorns of Agony. Thorns of Agony deals your nail's current damage to enemies around it, so now by upgrading the nail, we've made Thorns of Agony even stronger. And I think I should be able to better demonstrate its effectiveness on enemies, but first I do want to sell more relics to this guy, because I may as well. A Wanderer's Journal. Yes, I'll add it to the pile with the others. I don't know when I'll get to decipher this one. It's long, hard work translating the many languages of the bugs that explore these caverns. How many languages did they have? That is an interesting thought. Here's a seal. Another Hallownest seal. Pass it over. I enjoy collecting their like, but there's little information to be gleaned of each. Mind you, they do keep a nice shine about them, and there's nothing wrong with appreciating something purely on aesthetic merits. Wanderer's Journal. You have a knack for finding these. Corpses must be frequent on your journey. No doubt your nails created many more. Oh yes, very frequent, especially up further in this building. We're nearing the end of the video, so I think I'm gonna show what my next plans are. We can see, I think the most interesting area to explore right now is City of Tears, so I'd like to keep doing that. But as we can see, we are stopped real quick by this door in this fountain area, and with no other ways to go, both here and in the buildings up above, which are also blocked by similar doors, I can kill that enemy through a wall, almost. Attack the enemy through the wall, but still, that was actually really cool. I didn't even know you could do that, but now we've learned that. But I think I'm gonna use my simple key. We're gonna check this out next time. May as well open it while we're here. See where that goes. Alright. The demonstration with this guy should be more so far it's less accurate, but hold on. There we go. See, okay, see, I hit him once, took a hit, it hit him twice, and then I just had to finish him off like that. That is how strong Thorns of Agony can be, especially when you upgrade the nail and make it stronger. I just kind of like spam the attack button, didn't care about the damage. Yeah, I've just been like spamming attack, not caring about damage, and it's been killing them because Thorns of Agony is just that freaking strong. It's been hitting them for most of their damage. I think Thorns of Agony, if overused, can definitely make you a lot more reckless playing this game, and I know this because this is actually what happened to my sister playing this game for the first time. She equipped Thorns of Agony and kept it on for a long time because either she didn't have any other charms to use or just liked its effect a lot. But the result was that, you know, every battle with those sentries, no matter how long she's been going through City of Tears, it was basically just, you know, jump and hit them vaguely swipe in their direction, get hit by them, have Thorns of Agony finish them off, and then not really learn anything about their moveset as a result. So yeah, I think you get the point. I think I can stop talking about it now. And then I can start talking about what we're going to be doing next time, which I already went over. We're going down here into the whatever this is. We're going to go down there and see wherever it takes us from there, because knowing this world, it's probably going to take us to a billion other places. Then again, has that actually applied so far? I mean, City of Tears has taken us to this guy's shop, the Nailsmith upgrade, Soul Sanctum, and the elevator back up to Crossroads. So yeah, probably about a billion other places, you know. Next time on Hollow Knight, we venture into the depths of the city. Thank you all for watching if you did, and as always, I will see you all in the future.